Hey, gonna take a minute to talk about exhaust. Just put in the exhaust manifolds. Some people call them headers. Headers are actually not the stock manifolds that you get. Usually long tube headers, short tube headers. But these are GX 470. Let me get a view in here. Exhaust manifolds. Can that focus? I don't know if it can. Let's try to get a better angle. So the pain in the butt about these manifolds is that they come with, see it down there, a catalytic converter on the end welded to it. So unlike a Tundra, where the older Tundras, first gen that I had, that I got this engine from, where you simply have the manifolds and then the cats are down attached to them. This actually has an integrated cat. So I've got one there that I put in today and one over here, left and right side. Generally pretty simple to put in, except if you have the problem that I did, which is for some reason one of the studs on this passenger side stripped out of the block, or excuse me, the head. That's a real bummer. Is it's pretty hard to fix. I mean, I could retap it, put in another size bolt. I really don't know why it stripped. I had replaced those before on this engine, and I had put in like Dorman brand from Advanced Auto or AutoZone studs, okay? Because the stock studs that came out of the Tundra, you know, were so rusted I couldn't reuse them. But the threads were fine inside the head. Well, for some reason this time, as I was tightening it down, little son of a gun stripped itself, and one of those back there underneath. So it's actually really hard to get to as well, which is a pain. And so I was able to get another steel stud from the Lexus engine and pop it in there, and it held okay, but it definitely didn't get to the 32 foot-pounds that I needed. So hopefully I don't get a leak at that point, but so it's possible. I'll maybe try to fix it later. I've got other things to work on. But now that I've got the exhaust on, I can go look in the garage and see if I can't get the lower portion from the FJ with the second lower cats to fit in there. Originally I did want to add the Tundra manifolds and use the Tundra cats and exhaust that I had. Reason being, the Lexus there that I bought, the cats had been stripped off or stolen, so I didn't have those to use. But I had a problem here with the steering. Let's see, the steering shaft is kind of laying down in there. Can't really see it, but here's the nub of it is there, coming out of the firewall. Those were interfering with the headers that I have. So this is kind of the shape of the standard GX, but you can see manifold, but you can see right here it was cut, and so the cat was stolen or sold or taken off before I got it. I just have some other parts laying around that were also cut when they did that. Luckily they left the oxygen sensors, so I can use those or buy new ones. But yeah, these were the headers I was using on the Tundra, and this one was fine. This is for the passenger side, nothing weird about it. But the one for the other side, which I can't find at the moment, it's around here. It had a big bulge that would interfere with the steering, so I wasn't able to use that. So I got new parts, a couple $100 each, Pacesetter brand, but you know, supposed to be made in America. Who knows? Said they were made in 2019. So anyways, now that I got the exhaust on, I'm going to test fit the rest of it, but I'm actually able now to put the front drive shaft on, because I needed to do those guys and have more room to work down there. I think I'm ready though for the drive shaft, which is great. So I already got the rear drive shaft on. So this thing is looking good. Give one more look at my little spacer adapter square tubing I used to lift the transmission up. See, I lifted the engine and the transmission 2 inches, or 1 inch, and the body was 2 inches. So everything would clear. The transmission mostly was what was hitting the floor pan. So now we're all clear in there. It's got lots of room. I know it's hard to tell kind of what's going on, especially with the shaky video, but before I had like no space in here. Now I've got back in there plenty of space. And we do have some space back here, which is good for the engine to breathe and not get too hot near the firewall, but still remains to be seen if I can fit the fan and radiator here. So let's go on, get the rest of the exhaust and see if it matches up.